Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Walk Talk. Um, Rather than a fact, I think I'll just say a dedication to my loved ones for my upcoming walk for lost loved ones. Uh, I want to dedicate this walk to my fiance, who I love very much, and also want to dedicate it to my dad, who is not necessarily a big fan of the whole Captain Canada thing, but his work ethic for a long time was a big inspiration to me. But I think sometimes work, like anything, can be used to destroy yourself. And I think that's where the ethics of work kind of end. And that's sort of also what I learned from my dad is it's too easy to destroy yourself with work. Because I saw him work himself to the bone, and he doesn't feel very good now, and I don't want to follow in that example. I want to learn from his shortcomings just as much as I learned from his successes. So yeah, not a fact about the walk, but a dedication. Without any further delay, I'm still preparing to walk 50 miles with a pallet to raise awareness for suicide prevention. So we're going to do some weighted squats with this titanium walk to prepare for that. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I know I could do more. I can always do more. So to do more, I want to do more episodes of Walk Talk. So every episode is 5 squats, and every time I mess up filming, it's also 5 squats. So there's plenty of squats that you don't see. Well, I have a pretty good track record. I'm not exactly where we left off because I wasn't able to find the placement exactly. I should have snapped a picture of the time code because I couldn't read it on the video. So I'm really sorry about that this isn't exactly where we left off. But let's get on to our continued fun reaction of Super Sweet Shirt Co's reaction to Phoenix Jones in a really fun documentary. I love these reactions. This is just fun stuff for me. I just want more reaction, more watching, and less talking. I'm trying to shut up a little bit, so let's get going.
But aside,
this is the one thing that separates the other superheroes from this guy. Okay, and I don't care if you've stepped into to the octagon, it's even even the independent ones. Any sort of any if you stepped in any kind of caged fighting situation, and I don't care if you've stepped in there 10 times and you've lost 10 times. That's fucking badass to me. Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at all. I took jujitsu for a long time, a couple years, not a long time, but a couple years. I took martial arts for a long time, took jujitsu for a couple years. I really loved jujitsu. It just happened at the wrong time for me. Had a kid, a lot of responsibilities. It's very hard to judge that or juggle that kind of stuff. But there was a guy, one of the teachers there, who taught our judo class. Um, he had tried a couple real full contact fights. I saw it online. I saw videotapes of it online or footage, and I think he lost both fights. But I after watching him lose those fights, I had even more respect for the guy. I was like, this guy that's balls. Like that's hardcore. I don't have that in me. There's a certain person. It's like those people that join the military and then other people. I'll never. I didn't join the military. I don't have it in me. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a killer. I don't have it in me. But I do respect guys that have that in them. They'll fight. They'll go do things. I don't. I'm not that person, but I it makes me respect that even more.
From the martial arts background, the conditions which stem the most.
If you're just joining, I just saw we have a new person
I
here.
think this
This
is
is our first
actually
Twitch
where we should have started off.
broadcast here. We used to broadcast TikTok Live,
So
YouTube. This is the show.
everybody has their standards for what deserves respect. And I can see he greatly respects people with a combat background, and many people do. And I have nothing negative to say about that. It's natural. I understand why people are gravitated to the real deal, no bullshit um, reality of Phoenix Jones and why he stands out so much. But yeah, I'll just say that.
We watch some funny stuff. We get into some business late at night, and we just kind of riff. This is the Phoenix Jones documentary. I'm not sure if you've heard of Phoenix Jones, but this is a real life superhero from around 2010. This guy put on a costume. He legit went out and fought crime.
Well-known real life.
Phoenix Jones would hate that you called it a costume and would want you to call it a super suit.
Superhero couldn't have been more unassuming. Benjamin was a father of two working at a daycare for children with special needs. His origin story goes like this. One morning, Benjamin found his.
To me, him working with kids with special needs is more inspirational than his entire MMA career.
Car broken into, his driver's side window shattered, and a black ski mask laying atop the broken glass on the street. His son, cutting himself in the glass, had to be taken to the emergency room. Phoenix kept the mask, and days later, when a close friend was assaulted outside of a nightclub while a group of spectators watched, too afraid to intervene, Phoenix decided the ski mask would serve as the basis for an alternate identity. A moniker was chosen. The word.
Okay, so if you're just joining, because I do see that you just joined, this person, Phoenix Jones, used to put on a costume. He would go out in Seattle and fight crime. Okay, he did it, got himself into trouble. He was there. There was a wave of other superheroes at the time that would put on costumes equivalent to what you would find at Party City, and they would hand out sandwiches to homeless. This guy.
That is an exaggeration. Most of those guys had suits that may not have been as fancy as Phoenix Jones's, but I think Midnight Jack at one point had titanium plates, if I'm not confusing him with somebody else. But that's how they are talked about. I do agree that everybody thinks that's what they were. You could say I fall into that category. I no longer wear titanium. I did wear titanium at one point in time. I am currently going naked, as it were, as far as armor is concerned, or support systems, because it was made to be more of a muscle support system, like a weightlifting belt is why I had mine. It was back plates and a front plate. And the idea was I could lift more weight when I had everything all tightened up. But it was made of titanium. But people just see me walking around in a Canada flag cape and they assume that I don't got anything going on. And that's a fair assumption now, because right now I don't. I am going naked.
I had a bulletproof costume and was legit serious. Would find crime. He got into a little bit of trouble. Got arrested for assault. So now we're starting to see in this documentary that he's slowly starting to spiral. So now he's got like an alternative identity. I think in the superhero world, when you're starting to do this, you're on the. If we're graphing your success as a superhero, when you start getting an alternate identity, I think you're headed downhill.
Phoenix has roots in Greek folklore associated with rebirth. Jones, one of the most common American last names, is meant to represent the notion that ordinary citizens can hold others accountable for their actions. His costume was commissioned from Extreme Design FX and then sent to Baker Ballistics in order to be reinforced with bulletproof and stab-resistant plating. In an article from My Northwest, Fodor detailed some of his earliest attempts at vigilantism, well before he'd attracted any media attention. Confused as to how to begin, Benjamin took to simply brooding on rooftops. One night, upon witnessing a mugging, he climbed down the building's fire escape, a task which took minutes, only to find the criminal long gone by the time he reached the street. He'd purchased a net launcher reminiscent of the old campy Batman comics. Contrary to how he'd imagined the usage of this device planned.
Can you imagine being a modern day criminal and somebody hits you with a net launcher? Like you just did something terrible, like you broke into somebody's house and you beat some guy's wife up and you threw him down the stairs and you took their jewelry, and then you head outside and you got hit with a net launcher.
Out, Jones ended up trapping himself in it and was spotted by a passing police officer who took the opportunity to laugh and take a few pictures before cutting him loose. Early Phoenix Jones also carried with him a grappling hook which seemed to fit with his persona but had no practical value.
I think something was missed there. I believe, and I think it was even shown in the text there, but something got skipped over. Phoenix Jones was trapped in his net launch. He was trapped. He was running and he fired it, and it like he went faster than the net, and so he like ran into it, kind of thing. But he fell in a ditch, and he was like face down in water, and he kept like having to pull himself up out of the water, but he was like trapped. And so the guy he was chasing, the criminal, helped him, like righted him up, like turned him around out of the water, and then robbed him at the same time. But I just want it to be said, and I may have said this before in another video, that guy is also a hero, because we could have lost our Phoenix Jones, and instead he just got a little bit embarrassed that night. But it could have been much worse, it sounds like, and I'm really glad that that guy had enough of a heart to turn around and help the guy who was just chasing him. I think that's such an important part of the Phoenix Jones story that often just gets laughed at, and people really miss the fact that there was another hero in this story, and I think that's important.
You think you're going to scale a building, a friend critiqued?
Yeah,
what are you
laugh.
going to do when you get up there? Swoop down? Parachute down? You're not going to have enough distance for the parachute to even open. Although fans appreciated this insight into the man behind the mask, this move proved detrimental to Benjamin personally, as he was subsequently fired from his job at the daycare, and his custom-made suit was confiscated for
He was fired from his job at the daycare.
evidence.
So why did they confiscate your suit? Here's our suit. So the politically correct answer is to do an accurate investigation.
You know, in the show The Boys, I can't remember what they call it, but there's like superhero racism, and it's like a joke. It's like, yeah, that superism is why I didn't want to come out of the hero closet. But it's like, that's totally that's fucking true. And it's not because of superpowers, it's because people think you're fucking crazy if you dress up in an outfit. And they look at you different. People you've known your entire life look at you very differently when you put on a cape, and it's not always a nice thing. Some people are cool about it, but some people are very uncool about it. And I do consider it a form of prejudice, but it's also one that I've taken upon myself. I choose to wear this outfit, and I can expect all kinds of reactions. But when people treat you like less than a human being, it doesn't feel nice, regardless of whether or not you put yourself in that position. But I'll just say that because I'm not going to boo-hoo too much about it. I mean, it's part of my life, and I live with it, and it's something I've chosen, and it's not enough to deter me from wearing the cape. Just because some people don't like it, I would say the majority of people like it, and understand how much I have sacrificed to get to where I am, and how much more I intend to sacrifice to get farther. We're all in this together.
We need to have everything that was involved. The fact that your identity was concealed by a supersuit therefore makes it evidence that we need to take to prove that you are.
Look at the guy in the background with a completely straight face as the guy in front of him is talking about a super suit.
The man underneath the suit.
Despite the feedback that he should put his persona of Phoenix Jones to rest, Benjamin doubled down. He had a backup suit, and he was confident the assault charges would be dropped once the video evidence came out. The evidence in question was obtained by videographer Ryan McNamee, who had been documenting the Rain City Heroes' nightly exploits. Based on the title Phoenix Jones Stops Assault, Ryan's first-hand interpretations of events differ from the reporting police officers. Many of the video's comments seem to also side with Phoenix. Even Jones's detractors suggested the arrest was an excuse to deter him. Later that month, the charges were dropped, and despite media outlets, both corporate and independent, offering harsh criticisms over the fiasco.
What an idiot. Okay.
That was awesome. That's the girl he's supposed to be helping. She's like, you fucking pepper sprayed me, you idiot.
Phoenix Jones was on his way to unprecedented stardom. Jones was back with renewed enthusiasm and a steady stream of encouragement from the largest fan base he'd ever had. But on the night of April 27th,
If you're just joining, also, Phoenix Jones, if you're wondering how this is even a thing, how this is even possible, how he even was remotely successful. He was also an MMA fighter. I'm not sure what time you got in here, but he was trained in MMA. He was a real fighter. And so he can handle himself. He was a legit guy.
in 2012, a tragic and random act of violence would mark a distinct attitude shift in Phoenix and the Rain City superhero movement. It was after midnight. 21-year-old Nicole Westbrook and her boyfriend were walking through Pioneer Square after leaving a comedy show, when suddenly shots rang out.
Gunshots, gunshots, gunshots.
Phoenix, along with Purple Rain and Pitch Black, ran toward the sound. Jones caught a glimpse of someone in a gray backpack as the potential shooter and followed him on foot for several blocks until police arrived.
There he is, there's the shooter, backpack running. Backpack running? Backpack running. Backpack running. Backpack running.
Having been shot through the cheek, Nicole suffered a shattered spine. An ambulance rushed her to the hospital where she passed away shortly after.
I'm going to just say it so I have it. We're at 47 minutes and 17 seconds. And I'm saying that just before the 18-minute mark. I'm just trying to leave myself a mental trail back so I can get back to our point in the video. Actually, you know, fuck it. I have another way of doing this too. Just go closer. There we go. Just so when I'm scrolling, I have something I can look at, because I can't see audio when I'm scrolling through the video. I'm always in a rush doing things. I'm just planning for tomorrow at lunch. Sorry for this lame ending. But yeah, no. This Nicole Westbrook shooting is kind of don't want to say the beginning of the end for the golden age, but that's one way you could view it. It's a sad thing that happened. Somebody died, and like many tragedies, it has a massive effect on people. And Phoenix Jones was one of the people who was affected. They'll probably mention that he will be criticized for making a comic book about this scenario, and it does kind of raise the question of, like, is it wrong to make art about tragedies if you're going to profit off that art? No. I'm sorry for everybody involved. I'm sorry for the person who got shot. I'm sorry for Phoenix Jones and all the heroes who probably felt pretty helpless, and all the other people who were scared because violence had occurred near them. Trauma is a scary thing. But I've said enough. Peace out.